Do you trust your lawmakers to put your child first? Or is that why you're here listening right now? I'm Jim Malliard, as you can see from the screen there. My title in my advocacy group is there. I've been meeting with lawmakers since 2019 as it relates to public cyber charter schools in Pennsylvania. The past year's budget started in 2019. They've been chipping and fighting and fighting. We'll get back to that in a minute. Many of you know I'm a proud CCA dad. I have a son who's an alumni and a daughter who's in ninth grade. We live this every day. We love the cyber charter life, public cyber charter life, and we really do value it. It really has made an impact to my family. I'm sure I could talk about that at a different point, but that's not exactly why I'm here tonight. Parents have the real power. The sooner we all realize that, the better we're going to be. But we have to remember certain things. We should not be forced into political games. Lobbyists, unions, school officials, they live in that world. We do not. We belong with our parents. As parents, we belong with our kids, advocating and protecting them, protecting their future, protecting our future. Our kids are not pawns or props or budget items. I wish people would understand that. That's why I need you to fight for your child, for your children's school. Without an agenda, just tell people how good your school is, right? Tell how good your child is doing. Have your pastor tell how good your student's doing. Telling your hairdresser to tell people how good your student's doing. That is what we need. This is not, like I said earlier, this is not a fight that just started this budget season. It's been going on since 2019. It's not new. It's not going away. If the only way it's going to go away is when public cyber charter schools go out of business. And yes, I said go out of business because the legislator, the government, aren't going to close them. They're just going to make it so difficult, full of so much red tape and so much, or not enough money to do the red tape, that it becomes impossible to operate them. And they're like, oh, they could still exist. They just don't. I don't know what your problem is. You know how I know that? A lawmaker told me so. Scary when I say it out loud again. That's why I'm asking you, do you trust your lawmakers to put your child first? I'm not asking you to give up. I'm asking you to fight. Parents, districts have people, unions have a full-time machinery and donate millions of dollars to political PACs and campaigns and all this other stuff. But we as parents, we can do this work after bedtime, waiting for a doctor, waiting for a fast food order. It's just, we can do this work. And it's not work. It's fighting for our children. We have the true parent power. There's 65,000 families of cyber charter students and another 100 and some of charter students. If we keep fighting and keep being the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, as I mentioned on my Movement Mondays, money doesn't gonna answer to that. Because when a politician has to look a child in the eye and say, you're not worth it, you should be a second-class budget line item, they can't do it. And that child has to be present, and more children has to be present, or more adults. Because I often hear from lawmakers, they don't hear enough from us. We have to end that today. We have to be in their inboxes, in their voicemail boxes, in their offices. We have to be loud, squeaky, and fearless. I'm not saying cause violence. I'm not saying argue politics. Because, I hate to say this, this is Mark Twain, right? You argue with an idiot, they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. That's what you're doing when you argue with a politician about school funding. Tell your story. Tell why it matters. We also have to remember that most of these politicians are just being fed something along party lines. They don't know the truth. But again, our stories are our truth. We leave the lobbyists, the school officials, to play in that mud. I know it's easy for us to want to say, what about this? What about that? No, we have to be laser focused on telling our kids stories and why they matter. Certain groups out there want to twist the narratives and make us look bad. We can't worry about that. We can only control what we can control, and that's telling our story. Period. Pushing one group of kids over another doesn't benefit us. Saying, well, district that, or no. We have to push our own children, tell our positive stories, and be proud of our children. I've also heard in the last several days, it's red, it's blue, it's this, it's that. I don't care. This is a nonpartisan issue. Public education is a nonpartisan issue. What we can do, we have to fight both sides because our families, our children, our students in public education deserve our best. Don't worry about political sides. Don't worry about where they've been. If they don't answer you, you just have to keep going until they do answer you. Until they do take that meeting. Until they do write back. Some of these folks want to create fear. Who are just saying this, the cuts have started to begin. Like your governor, Josh Shapiro. He needs to be reminded that there are families, students, and faces with public cyber charter schools. And that starts with you, right now. Today's November 25th, 2025. The budget address is about 75 days away. That's when this whole next budget season kicks off. Yes, I know the holidays are present. Excuse me. I know. It's tough. But 5 minutes? You can do that. Trust me, you can do that. So, over at CandyAppleAdvocacy.com, I've started Movement Mondays. And for some of you folks, it seems like that's just 101 level stuff. Emailing your representative, email your senator, email the governor. I'm working to build momentum behind this. It's not a one-time email. It's not a one-time phone call. It's about relationship building for now and into the future. Relationships aren't built with one email or one phone call. You have to be in their head. You have to be in their inbox. You have to tell your students' story and have others do it. And don't think for 1 second when you write these emails, they have to be significantly long. They don't. They could be one sentence, one paragraph. They don't have to be 600 words or 6 pages or anything else. Just tell your story. Why you chose public cyber charter school. And then follow it up with, hey, my student was able to attend X and it was very cool. Or my student learned about change this week, counting change, or whatever it may be. Simple little things to say, hey, I'm here and my kid is learning. We're going to keep this conversation going, regardless of how much you don't want to, but I'm going to. Keep driving home. I love my kid, and I love my school, or love their school. Just, you got to show up. You got to be consistent. Like I said, there's millions of dollars floating around with lobbyists and all sorts of groups down in Harrisburg. We can't compete with the money, but we can compete with sheer volume and passion. And our kids. They're our kids. They're our future. When parents work together and tell these messages and tell these stories, they are louder than any lobbyist in Harrisburg. So one last time. Do you trust lawmakers to put your children first? Or is that why you were here tonight listening to me? Talk to you soon.